What's up YouTube? Capital G here. Got a couple of quick duels for you guys to enjoy. First duel doesn't require a lot of setup, just going to be a lot of brute strength and a little bit of irony. We got Metaphys at the top and Heroes at the bottom. I personally have a lot of faith in the Hero deck. I think it's going to be incredibly solid. We're already seeing Heroes kind of like be a fringe, or I guess you could say like a bubble YCS top deck. A lot of YCS events, they end up going like 8-3 or 8-2-1. Right on the outskirts of the top cut. So I feel like when they get Sunriser and Liquid Man, they're just going to be able to get to that next step and be able to top the YCS level events consistently. Metaphys still looking to put it all together. Hopefully we get Crossout Designator sometime soon. This card is not only an anti-hand trap card for the deck, but they actually can use it to banish their own cards. They're like the only deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! That do that. Anyways, we'll go ahead and roll this. So Heroes are up first, and I don't think there's going to be any fusions associated with this play. You're used to seeing things like, I guess, Dark Law, usually for like turn one, or, you know, the fusion monster is kind of being disruptive. He's actually going to go for something a little different. He just says, Cap G, screw fusion summoning, baby. I'm all about that. I'm about that Destiny Hero Plasma. This card can be very strong against decks like Salamangreats and basically any deck that really needs its monster effects to be able to counter you, because as long as you have something like an Honest Neos to back it up, your opponent is not going to attack over this. And then their monster effects on field, they're skill drained out because, you know, that's what Plasma does. He set the card by the grave as well. He's going to go Crossout Designator, banish his own card. He will go ahead and summon the Metaphys Daedalus from his hand. The problem is this card doesn't have an effect because this guy's on field. I think he's going to, you don't want to do this against Plasma. You don't really just want to summon monsters because they'll just suck up your monsters. He is probably going to do that. Crossout Designator is going to be used, fair enough. And I think his opponent's not really going to have any answer for this. So he's going to take his monster. He's going to activate the copy of Honest Neos and then check this cheese out. I thought he was actually going to misplay here, because the thing is, even though Decoy Dragon, you know, activates on the field, it should be able to summon a monster from his graveyard. The problem is it can just, man, it just ends up getting called by the grave. Tries to summon the Daedalus for the Decoy Dragon's effect. That ends up getting called by the grave, and then he pretty much gets one shot, not quite a one shot, but 6,400 damage to the face, and I don't think he's coming back from that. Anyways, let's go to the next duel. Second duel is going to be little back and forth. We got Burning Abyss and Adignister. We all know that Adignister always wants to go second, unless you're going to summon the Arrival Cyberus Adignister, then you can go first. Burning Abyss going to make Dante and also going to make Cherubini. He does get himself a nice little token, a nice little Beasto Lion token, but that actually might be a bad thing. Sometimes when you're playing against Adignister, it might just be better not even to get like random little small monsters on the field. I'll show you why in a second. His opponent is going to, as long as I can be smart enough to play this, he starts out with the light one, the light Adignister, which searches basically like all the Adignister cards, activates the Monster Reborn for the archetype. That's going to be hit with Ghost Bell, fair enough, and he's going to use Eye Fusion. As I've said in numerous videos before, you cannot leave Link monsters on the field when you're dueling against Adignister, because if they're playing the fusion cards, they'll just use your monsters as material, very similar to Salamangreats. He's going to continue on, and he's going to go for Dark Templar, Adignister. This is why leaving this token or even getting the token's a problem. Is if he runs over any monster with the Dark Templar, he gets basically 3 monsters from his graveyard. I've come to the conclusion this card is basically just busted. We already know that it has a built-in Infernity Launcher, but I mean, it can kind of get 3 monsters from its effect. You can see right there, he ran over a monster, so he gets Monster Reborn. Since a monster was special summoned to his link point, he gets 2 more monsters from the graveyard. So basically, he gets 3, like he gets to summon 3 monsters from the graveyard pretty easily. He's gonna go for Nightmare Cerberus, get the Malicious out of his hand so that he can summon it back from the graveyard. Underclock Taker's not bad with the copy of Blot Dragon, debuffing his opponent's Dark Templar, and he goes into the BLS Link monster, also not bad. This was a little weird to me, and I think he went into it because it's probably his only XC monster. Abyss Dweller is not really that good against the Attic Ignister deck. I mean, it's okay for stopping, like if they have Ignister Island in their graveyard, you can stop that effect, but other than that, like, it's really not that good, and he didn't even play Ignister Island yet, so that's why it's like, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. I think it was his only Exceed play that he had. He does banish his opponent's Ignister Monster Reborn from the effect of the BLS, but it don't even matter because he should be able to go back into Dark Templar, and as I said before, Dark Templar, if it runs over any small monster, which Abyss Dweller is, it can get you 3 monsters from your graveyard off of that attack. He's going to pull back his fusion monster, whose attack becomes double its original attack if it attacks a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck. BLS does fit that bill, and he should be able to close this out. You know what? Even if he didn't get rid of the card on field, even if he had his BLS gained a 1500 attack, it's still, like, he still would have lost because this guy would have went up to 46, and his opponent would have been, his opponent's BLS would have been 45. So he still would have ended up winning. He's going to make Topologic Trisbana, but I don't really think that it's going to matter, as DXC is just going to banish it, and a couple of attacks are going to end this duel out. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed those duels. If you did, get a video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.